And a very warm, well, warmer than usual welcome viewers and pool fans to Pro Billiard TV and the Predator Austrian EUROTOUR, bringing the live action from the picturesque hotel in the Alpina Alpendorf hotel deep in the Austrian Alps. But it is not alpine weather. We're going through somewhat of a heat wave here, and the action really heating up in the men's event. You join us on day two, losers round three matchup between Stefan Casper from Germany and a player on home soil, Gerhard Koch. And so far on today's action, it's really been heating up as it has been outside. This is 9-ball race to 9, 2 breaks per player alternating. The tables are tapped for self-rack. They're under a shot clock and the 3-point rule is in effect, so keep your eye on balls tracking over into the top of the table. And Gerhard Koch with winning the lag and the break will get us underway, making the 1 ball, but not getting anything on the 2, and a little grimace from Gerhard there. Good signs making the 1. My name is Gethin Davis. I'll be flying solo with you for this match. 3 tables on our live stream. And I'll bring you the information on the action over there. But first, Gerhard playing the push. We'll give the opportunity for Stefan now to take this one on or give it back. Looks like he's pushed into a safe position with full cover, but that 2-8 combination quite tempting. And it looks like Stefan isn't going to give it back. And we'll take this on. Looks quite good from this camera angle. Ooh, the 2 ball took a very friendly nudge off the 9 and has come out into play. That will give Casper a good look at the 2. Played that well, needs a bounce off the rail and doesn't want to finish. Well, doesn't really want to finish straight, but could just draw back and take the longer 4 on. However, the cue ball didn't come that far off the rail, so he'd have to jack up if he were going to take that shot on. If he does have an angle, much easier to play with top effect. And he's done that very well. May have a bit of hampering from the 5 ball. Yeah, that will work for Stefan. Had a tough day yesterday. His opening match on the TV table, taking on the Spaniard Salvador Garcia Fernandez. That one went all the way to a hill decider, and the Spaniard taking it at the end there, putting Stefan into the losers bracket. As I mentioned, you would have him on paper as the favourite for this match, but Gerhard is on home soil, and that may make a difference. But Stefan Casper, through last year and already in this year, getting a lot of success on the EUROTOUR. And that will get his account underway against Gerhard's break as well, so quite an important point for Stefan there. On our other tables, over on table 1, being streamed on Pro Billiard TV. That's the matchup between Senyin Palavanovic and Michael Horak, with commentating from my dear colleague Mark White. And over on our table 3, we have the matchup between Schruerman and Lim in the women's event. And Stefan with the second of his 2 breaks, trailing 1-0. Made a ball off the break, but looks like only the one has crossed the line. So that will bring Stefan back to the table. No real offensive shot on the 1 ball here. Good cue ball. A few balls to aim for with traffic, but was needing to make sure he didn't leave a window for Gerhard here. And cue ball has locked up on the short rail. He's called his extension. I wasn't sure he brought his jump stick with him. He has indeed. So we'll be going airborne over the 9 ball. That has not worked out. Scratch for the Austrian. And Stefan Casper out of his chair with ball in hand. Looking like the 2 ball is hampered by both the 4 and the 9. Casper just having a quick look to see if it passes the 7 into the side pocket, which it sure looks like it does, but getting position on it will be key. You can see from this angle there is a combination as a bit of a backup. 2 onto the 4. Looking to play that cue ball. Inch perfect for the blue 2. He's certainly got this onto the side pocket, but the cue ball is just going to run down towards the short rail here. Played that well. Looks like he's got a small angle to be able to push this cue ball up just to the right side of the brown 7 ball. Ooh, doesn't want to finish right on it, and he has. May hamper his cueing, but will look to not do too much to land on the 6, likely for the top right pocket. Wasn't able to attack position there because of where the side pocket was. So just left himself a little bit more of a cut and letting the cue ball do the work around the table. Well, the cue ball was having to come across the potting line, so needed to be careful with the pace of the cue ball. It's come up short. Some would say the 50-yard line. Takes the cut to the right corner, avoids the top left with the cue ball, and that's a little bit better with the cue ball than the last attempt. And this to take 2 points against Gerhard's break. And just put a little bit of pressure on him, and we'll get to see Stefan Casper to the table to begin his first round of 2 breaks, and promising signs for the German. A little bit of work left to do for Gerhard, and he'll be looking for more success from his break as this match develops. A few other matches underway. The Kaiser Ralph Suke taking on the Italian Angelo Salzano. Good to see Ralph Suke in action. Now, how can Stefan Casper push on from this 2-0 lead? He's made the 1. More than enough balls past the head string, but the 2 ball hasn't behaved. Doesn't look like there's anything for Stefan to attack here. Can see the 2. Yeah, that's worked nicely. And the 3 ball cutting off the escape on the bottom right long rail. Well, he hasn't taken his focus off this bottom right long rail. Looks like he's going to jump into it. Didn't feel coming the other way was advantageous. So this is a difficult escape. And he didn't get over the 3 ball. And to add to misery, a scratch. Now, Stefan's focus immediately on that 5 ball, which is in a tricky spot next to the 8 there. Didn't develop it. He's having another look at it though, so maybe he feels he can get something from the 4. Kind of straight on it, so it looks like he has an angle to maybe come underneath the 5, maybe looking to play it in the top right corner. Well, has Casper got something else up his sleeve? Creative shot. If that cue ball comes behind the 6, which it nearly did, that would have made this very difficult for Koch. However, now I think he can see maybe even full ball of this 5. Was looking to do exactly that with the 5 ball, but couldn't freeze the cue ball. A double kiss has knocked it over out of the way of the 9 covering it, so Stefan got an open look at this 5. He's made the bank. Kept the cue ball at the top of the table. Always a chance that if it didn't drop, it may have tracked over towards the 7 and left Gerhard in a tricky spot, but that will very much work, and looking good with an angle to come down for the 7 as well. Ooh. I spoke too soon. Casper did have an angle, was trying to force it, and that cue ball tracking towards the side pocket. Scratches, ball in hand for Stefan. Sorry, for Gerhard. And this will be a very nice present for him and a good way to get his account underway. Needed to get one against Casper's break, you felt. And this is it. And does. And that's the first point on the board for the Austrian. Scoreline 2-1 to Casper, as the players just have a little bit of a laugh between each other. I think Gerhard was just a bit unsure who was breaking next. It will be Stefan with the second of his 2 breaks, and really looking to regain that 2-rack advantage. Not making the 1, but making a ball, the blue 2. An illegal break. The 1 from the overhead looks like it passes the 4. The cue ball's going to be running into the 7. Anything could happen there. Casper's just having a little look to see what angle he's going to come into the 7 at with the cue ball. Well, he went into it with a bit of venom. Left a little bit to chance, but this is a good look at the 3. And then really just consideration for the 4 to 5. And maybe 7 to 8 now I look at where the 9 is positioned. So a little bit of work still left to do for Casper here in untangling this. Okay, well, there were options to try and get underneath the 5, but that was not the angle he had to be able to do that. So he's taking this cut on. Dare I say, on the professional side, maybe even going purely for defense. And with a big bump into the 6, the 5 is open. Maybe not an offensive option for Gerhard, but certainly a good chance to put his opponent in trouble. Love the opportunity to come to the table with a chance to getting the scoreline back to 2-2. That's not got cover. And neither has that. I think Stefan knew that as soon as he turned around to walk back to his chair. Although Gerhard is implying that it might be a bit tighter than the camera's telling me here. And if it is that close, he may just be able to turn the cue ball over with a slight massé. Also, he may be able just to jump over the edge of the 9, which I think is, yeah, that's the plan. Just the edge of the 9. As you could tell, didn't need to hop that cue ball too much. Good pot. Cue ball hasn't come into an ideal position for the green 6. But a good pot here. He could find himself with good shape on the 7. Wasn't to be, was tough to take on. Gave himself a hope of having shape on the 7. Casper with a long look at this 6 ball. And now, good opportunity to come back across the table to take the 8 into the same pocket as the 7. And that will do. And after a bit of exchange of safeties, both players just struggling to get the cover that they need all the time. Stefan Casper's at the table looking to get that 2-rack lead again, which he has done. And that will bring Gerhard Koch back to the table, trailing 3-1, but with the next 2 breaks. So good opportunity to get this scoreline back level. Talking of scorelines, just a quick look over at our other table in play. Over on table 1, Senjun Pelovanovic from Bosnia-Herzegovina. Well, he's taken a very productive 5-0 lead over the Czech player Michael Horak. An all-German affair. Luca Men 2-0 up against Dirk Schweders. I'll bring you some more updates as they come in. Oh dear. That's a scratch. Quite an important time for Gerhard. Doesn't want to let Stefan get too far out in front. Ball in hand will certainly help him consider attacking this clearance in front of him right now. That will work. Where the 3 is. Yeah. Stefan probably looking to bring the cue ball at the top of the table to take this 3 on to the side pocket, and if he does overrun it, we'll have it available for the bottom left. Let's see how far down the table he's come. Should be able to squeeze something from that. Now that is a little bit too feisty. And Stefan has some great looks on his face. You can certainly tell what he's thinking quite a lot of the time when it's not going his way. Thin cut on the 4 if he wants to take it. Roll up behind the 9 if he's not feeling it, which is what he's done. Looks like he's locked him up. He has. The overhead showing that clearly. Now 1 and 2 rail escapes available for Gerhard. Takes a second rail and comes low on the 4. The 4 will track up the table, and the cue ball may threaten to come over towards the 9-5. That might be his preferred option here. It's caught it slightly on the right-hand side, which has allowed the cue ball to track up the table, and the 4 ball did not get cover from the 8, so this will be a good opportunity. The 5 passing the 9 will certainly help into the bottom left corner. Again, overrunning that by quite a bit. And not looking to attack it, but looking to keep Gerhard at bay. A little tap on the table of appreciation. Great respect between both players. This is a toughie. Two rail escape, successful hit. Might get cover with the 7. And quite rightly, a returning tap on the table from Stefan Casper. Not only a good escape, but a fantastic result. And Casper just evaluating if the jump over the 7 was on. Needs to be careful. The cue ball has settled on the table before it makes contact, otherwise there is a danger that the cue ball will hop over and off the table. And I think that's his worry. So looking at the 1, potentially picking up the second rail. Picks up the second rail just in front, this 5 may drop. Or make contact. There's a good chance this 5 slides past the 8, and if so, the opportunity now goes the Austrians' way. Slide past. Gerhard looking at drawing off this 6. Off the long rail, has come nicely low on the 7 to push the cue ball up for the 8, and this looking very good for 3-2 and keeping this match nice and tasty. He'll be disappointed with that miss. Oh my. Casper presented with a long 9, raises his hand. It's not the way he wants to win his points. He'll take the point, of course, but that's very unfortunate for Gerhard there, and possibly a turning point in the match. He comes back to the table for the second of his 2 breaks. And he'll be desperate now not to let Stefan steal too much of a march, because he does have the propensity to drive on. And in these 2 breaks per player format, if Stefan's able to take a point here, and it's lovely, the spirit between the two, having a laugh as well. But in all seriousness, if Stefan can get back to the table and take this one, with 2 breaks then for him to come, the scoreline could really start to run away from the Austrian. So Gerhard just needs to be a little careful here. He's made balls off the break, and it's a legal break, and a decent look at the 2. I mentioned about our match on table 3 coming in from the women's event. That's for Nua Lim taking on Jolien Schreumann. That was just a little late kicking off. It looks like they're about to start over on table 3. I'm sure there'll be a lot of support for the young Dutch lady out there. Now this 2, maybe to come around the 7 for the 3. Position on the 3, looking where the rest of the balls are, ladies and gentlemen. This really is a bit like how Gerhard would put them together for a quick practice. He's having a smile. Could just stun this and take a slightly longer 6 on. Really important that he keeps the angle. However, there was room for Gerhard to put himself in a pickle, and he has. Notice on his shirt, Jerry. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Maybe Gerhard. But this is now a trickier 6 than he initially anticipated having. Oh, and didn't sound like he had the best contact. But the 6 has gone in, and this now still looking good for a break and run here. And Koch will get the scoreline looking a bit more reasonable as we turn over for Stefan Casper to return to the table to break. But still, this 8 and 9 needs dealing with. Oh, I was about to say this was the shot to put that last 9 ball behind him when he missed into the same very pocket. Oh dear. And as I said, in reaction, Stefan won't mind taking the point here, but he won't necessarily appreciate how he has taken it. That 9 for a second steal. And yeah, quite rightly raises his hand, but that won't be of any consolation to Koch. That's 2 now that he's lost at the dying deaths of the rack on the 2 points that really should have come his way. Quick look over at our action between Sanjin Pelivanovic against Michael Horak. Sanyin getting off to a great start there. Well, it looks like he's pushed on. He's not allowed the Czech Michael Horak to reply. He's 7-0 in that match, just 2 away. Sounds like they're keeping my colleague Mark White on his toes. And as you can see in the background, Stefan Casper just having a chat with one of his friends who's clearly been keeping a close eye on the match. Now the Austrian has taken his break, and I would suggest we take a quick break too, just to refresh our glasses. And if you want to keep an eye on the scores going around in the arena, both men's and women's event underway, please do visit EPBF.com, European Pocket Billiard Federation, and you can get all the fixtures coming up over this and the remaining 2 days of this 4-day event, and also links to the forthcoming events, because if there is a Euro Tour near you and you do fancy a bite at the apple, this is open to anyone to enter. Okay, we'll be back with you very shortly for more action from this losers round 3 match. Don't go anywhere. Well, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are high up in the Austrian Alps at the Alpina Alpendorf Hotel for this picturesque and quite hot outside men's Predator Euro Tour event here in Austria. And it's really hotting up in here as well on the table. Stefan Casper taking a very productive 5-1 lead against the Austrian and home hopeful Gerhard Koch. And this will be the first of Stefan Casper's 2 breaks. Now, let's see the result from his break before I go into his previous match. He's made the 1. Legal break, returns to the table. 2-ball has also dropped and has a good look at the 3. Yeah, I just wanted to reflect on his match from yesterday. Casper found himself in a very strong position to start with, but his Spanish opponent, Salvador, chipped back and rattled him, took it to a hill-hill decider. Did have the opportunity to go either way, but there may be some residual effect that's just still in Stefan's memory. So he'll be keen not to let Koch get back into this match. And following a very useful break, he's put himself very nicely, had put himself very nicely in shape for closing out this pattern. Cue ball did not come out far enough here for him on the 6-ball, so he's just going to have to put a bit more of a shot in here. And this is what I was alluding to earlier in the match during the introductions. Both these players in open play, in rotation, formidable. But with the 3-point rule and with the 2 breaks per player alternating format, it does lend itself to a couple of sways here and there in momentum. Scores can shift sometimes up to 4 points rather quickly. And that lead of 4 has now been increased to 5. And Stefan will have a second break. And well, we cannot ignore the fact that Gerhard had 2 great opportunities for 2 points. And the 9 ball just eluding him on the last shot each time. Hopefully that will not come back to haunt him in this match, but the scoreline now looking very much in Stefan's favour. In the other match I was alluding to with the German Ralf Suke taking on the Italian Angelo Salzano. Well, Angelo still retaining that lead. It's 4-2 over on that table now. This is the losers round bracket, so the player who does not make it through here will exit the tournament. Good break, legal break. 4 ball, hampered by the 8. Unsure if there's value for Stefan to go for the blue 2 and get shape on the 4. The only pocket available, as you can see right now, thank you for helping me out, Stefan, would be the 4 up to the top right if it goes past the 9. 4 is positioned very nicely for playing safe off of it, but you really still would want to get the cue ball underneath it. It's be a big 2 to take on if he wants to do that. Well, that's not what he wanted at all. He shakes his head and probably can't believe how that's happened, but it has. Ball in hand for the Austrian. That 4 ball still needs to be dealt with though, but with ball in hand, Gerhard can look to find an angle to get the cue ball down there. He doesn't want to take his time though, that shot clock is ticking. I think he's going to play safe. Shot clock's getting to 10. Played a great cue ball. I think that's glued to it in such a fashion that Stefan won't be able to jump at this. So he's coming round the rails. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Makes contact but not a rail. They're having a giggle between themselves. I think that was the 3 railer, not the 5. Second ball in hand. Because of where that 4 is, this might be an attempt at the 3 foul. Oh, the cue ball would have loved to have rubbed it off the 8 to slow it down. And is not going to, well, at the moment it doesn't look like it will deliver a 3rd foul. We just saw Casper scratch though, without necessarily needing to do so. Well, he's played the cue ball, I believe, on purpose to open up that 4. But if he was going for the pot, he was quite a way away. How's his luck? He can't have covered the edge of the 2 with the 8 ball there. No, I don't think he has. Nicely done. He played for that. And a good look on the 4. Where's the cue ball going to run to if he goes for it? I'm not sure if he is, but it looks like he's got the potting angle. He does. And that was my concern. Where is the cue ball going to go? He just wanted to catch that long rail underneath the side pocket, and well, this game's had a bit of everything. A couple of ball in hands, 3 I believe now. But this time, with the 4 taken care of, a much nicer look at the layout. Yeah, this time much easier. A look at closing out this rack. Quite an interesting exchange of play between the 2 players. A couple of unexpected scratches. A half-decent attempt at going for the 3 fouls, but that third attempt, or rather third attempt at getting Casper safe, just was never going to work that way. And sadly, for Gerhard, Stefan Casper pushing on, 2 away from victory. We will be swapping breaker. That's great spirit between the 2. Koch will have 2 breaks now, and he's going to need to start making moves if he's going to have a chance at getting back in this match. Well, he's down quick on the ball, as if he's not really in it to win it now. I don't think he should be. I think he should be fully focused. That is not fully focused, I'm afraid, and maybe early signs that although this match is being played very jovially between the 2, he may just have dipped his head with slight resignation. I have to say, we've been on this Euro Tour for quite a few years now. We've seen some great comebacks. And it's not as if Casper's breaking and running every time he comes to the table, so opportunities could come. However, Stefan just looking to turn the screw, putting Koch in trouble now. Whoa. And that will be ball in hand. And if Casper was looking to put this rack out of its misery, there is an opportunity for a 5-9 combination. If he feels that the position from 4 to 5 isn't happening, that is an option, but he may also have an option just to maneuver the 9 here. Needs to be a bit careful though with shape on the 4. Played it very well. And yeah, a shame for Koch at the moment. Them 2 missed 9s clearly resonating with him. And Casper looking to put himself in the next round. From here, the winner moves to losers round 4. There's another round following, sorry, losers round, yeah, 4. There's another losers round and a losers qualification to go. They will be coming the longer way to get to the final stages. But this now looking very much like Stefan Casper's going to put one toe into the next round. And I'm afraid to say that Gerhard isn't looking like his mindset's there to respond with the right challenge. And yes, indeed. Stefan Casper gets to the hill, 8-1. Gerhard back to the table with the break, his second of his 2 breaks, and an opportunity for Stefan to take the match at this with this rack. But if Gerhard can make a big break and just push on a little bit, you've got to have some hope. Update from our other table, you may have seen play coming to a close there. Indeed, Sanjin Pelovanovic has played out of his skin in that match against the Czech player Michael Horak, winning in straight racks 9-0. Nice break from Koch here. And he's backing it up. Giving us a good glimpse of what he is capable of. He's made some good clearances in this match so far. 2 of them he was just unable to convert, sadly. But as you can see, no slouch around the table. And we'll look to pick this 9 off. He has a little smile at Casper. He knows the last 2 9s have rattled and that cue ball has run up against the long rail. If it wanted to, it could. But it didn't, and a nod of approval. It will now be left to the pool gods and to Stefan Casper here, as Gerhard will return to his chair with his opponent on the hill, and Casper has been breaking rather well so far. I'll be desperate to back it up here and take this match in quick fashion. Over on table 3, if you want to catch some action after. The match is underway between Jolien Schuurman and Venua Lim. Currently, they're 1 apiece. And I won't bring you any more updates. I'll let you go out and find out for yourself. But that, a very nice match in the Predator Austrian EuroTour women's event. Okay, 1 ball down, 2 balls past the head string. 3 balls. No, the 5 has dropped as well. But not the easiest of looks on this blue 2. Is he looking at going aggressive and taking this cut on? No. That was a cut too far, in all honesty. Good responding shot though. He's put Koch in full cover. He's going to jump over this 6. If he can get the cue ball to behave and stay down there, he could get cover with the same balls. ball in hand. The safety worked for Stefan, and he'll be eagerly looking at a closing pattern here. Not really too much to untangle. Number 4 round the table for the 6. And this should be a formality for Stefan. The scoreline 8-2, just needs this one. Done nicely. It's got me a little quiet in the box. It's starting to feel like Stefan will book his place in losers round 4. And sadly, for the home hopeful, this will be his exit from the tournament. Straight on the 9. This for a very solid performance from Stefan Casper, keeping his Austrian hopes alive. You can see in the background, just looking over, Yasmin Ouschan from our other table has a big hug between the two. Clearly, these players know each other well, and they're going to have a good chat about the match afterwards. But congratulations to Stefan Casper, commiserations to Gerhard Koch. And just to bring you an update, coming up next, we'll be continuing action in 30 minutes from now, and it's going to be action from the women's event. And just check, I think it's winners qualification. It is indeed. And the matchups we have there on table 1, we have Sandra Baumgartner taking on Linnea Halmarstrom. Over on table 2 will be Yasmin Ouschan against Daria Siranchuk. And the other stream match on Pro Billiard TV, Anna Gradiznik taking on Jinyu Hong. That will start in 30 minutes from now. A big thank you all for joining us. Please do set your reminders. Tomorrow morning, we will be starting at 9 a.m. as well. My name's Gethin Davis. It's been an absolute pleasure. Look forward to having you back in 30 minutes.
Herzog ist es falsch eingetragen gewesen. Wie schon eine? Überhaupt nicht so. Ja, sie ist schon wieder nicht an.
just double check with Gloria?
It's just they use the car after specifically because I wasn't sure as well. But
I think
let me just take the car.
And welcome back everybody to the Predator Austrian Open EuroTour. This is a winners qualification match in the women's event between Yasmin Ouschan from Austria and Daria Siranchuk from Ukraine. We are live all the way from Sankt Johann in Pongau in Austria, from the Alpina Alpendorf hotel. And after this match we will know at least half of the last 16 players, so 8 players will go through after this round. Last 16 being the single elimination stage. Playing 9-ball, race to 7, alternating the break per 2 racks. And the 3-point rule is in effect. So 3 balls have to pass the kitchen line. The line on the top side of the table marks a box. But it can also be combined, as she, for example, made the 1 ball just now. And 2 balls passing the kitchen line makes it a legal break. Yasmin Ouschan, who won her opening match 7-1 against Jolien Schuurman from the Netherlands. And 7-0 against Sevimsu Yazgarigan. To be in this winner's qualification. And for Daria Siranchuk, she did beat Olivia Zalewska in her first match. Did have a walkover in the first. Beat Olivia Zalewska 7-4. Which is a good win. So maybe she can pull the ropes on Yasmin Ouschan, who finished second in the Billiards Carino Women's Open in the Pro Billiard Series event just a couple days ago. So she must be feeling really well. She must be enjoying the weather, enjoying the area. I mean, Sankt Johann in Pongau is a beautiful area. Oh, beautiful jump. Look at the shape too. Purple air rush in action. A little bit straight on the 3-ball though, but I don't think you can be too picky after making that jump. Yeah, I had to take the medicine there. Does she at least get something on the 5? Well, she's facing another cut. Had to take on a long 4, couldn't really get on it any better. So it looks like she'll have to cut this 5 and go. Oh wow, she's fluked to 6. She's put the 5 over the middle. And I don't think she can get to it, so awkward spot to be in. Now I have to say, I'm very fond of this Predator Arc table. I got to play on it in Portugal recently, but also after watching the events now, the last couple events, it is very hot out in Europe, in this part of Europe. So I have to say the tables, they don't really seem... I mean, imagine the humidity that can be caused by the weather. It's being over 100 Fahrenheit, let's say 30, 40 degrees in between. Can change the table quite a lot. But barely seen any comments by the players. Or weird looks. Looking very stable. So, Yasmin missing the kick. Technically, 2 stop shots, a little bit of follow and a stop on the 9. Shouldn't be the biggest problem, but of course the early nerves could be there. So the opening rack going to Siranchuk. Has already put herself onto a decent position. Because Yasmin will now be breaking her second. And the best thing she could do is make this 1 each. It looks like she has the new BK Rush Veal. Oh, I did say veal, but obviously it's teal. I think the heat is getting to my head. Now this break working out much better. Just gotta visualize the bump on the 5 ball well enough. And especially because you're nudging the 5 towards the 2 ball, you also gotta watch the speed. Well, imagine both. She's understruck that very short swing. So could be off to her dream start. Siranchuk gets straight on the 2. 3-5 is okay. Draw up table for the 7. Oh. A little nudge on the 5. I think she's still okay. Just gotta make sure she stays on the proper side. Doesn't want to leave herself too much angle, where she's going to run into the 8 soon. Might have to just stop the cue ball. She's... I think that's what she was trying to do. And now she's a bit straighter. Just gonna draw back near where she is now. Just gotta watch the middle. Yeah, she tried to move over all the way. And why would she do that? Just leave yourself a shot and an angle on the 7. Yeah, and then now suddenly this is a long, difficult shot. And then she hangs up the 8, gifting this rack over to Yasmin. Like I said, this could have been 2-0. This could have been a big difference from the start. Wow, she put herself behind the corner pocket point. What did she do there? Sloppy start for Ouschan. And there's suddenly another chance for Siranchuk. It's not an easy 9, but gotta give yourself a good chance. Yeah, nice and clean. She takes the second rack now. It was quite a mistake. Very surprised she was even able to put herself there, as the scratch is so close. So the next 2 breaks coming up for Daria Siranchuk. Wow, ball drops. 3 balls passing the kitchen line. She's got shape on the 1, straight in. Some back and forth to do from the 2 ball to the 4. 4 to the other side of the table for the 5. And then to land back on the 6. So traveling back and forth is a difficulty. Not necessarily any distance or clusters. Well, the first piece of the puzzle is solved nicely. She got nicely on the 4. She does have the angle on the 5 now. Now the option is either one rail, land between the 6 and the 7, or go 2 rails. This way the 7 ball comes more into play, but the speed is easier to control. She had played 2 rails coming across the positional area. Less risk to hook yourself, but more difficult to get the right speed. So gotta pick what fits the best for you. She's now on the 6. Probably if she nudges the 9 over the corner, she still has the 7 to the top right, but she's done a little bit more. I think she's okay. A little bit of angle going to the top, but nonetheless should be okay. 2 rails in between the 8 and the 9. Oh, she keeps it real simple. Yeah, it looked like she had more angle. This is a lot easier, of course. Well, that means she could be shooting for a 3-0. She had some early nerves where she just missed the 8. But to reply with a breaker run following to that. Yeah, so it is 3-0. She does have another break. Beautiful breaker run from Siranchuk. She makes another one. Yasmin could be in quite some trouble early on. Yeah, this time illegal break, but it's not like she's left something on for Daria. Yeah, she's explaining to Yasmin a ball has to be at least half over the line. So mid ball has to be on the line at least. So the 6 ball, well, it's not even touching, but wouldn't be a second ball. So only 2 points out of 3. As you can see, this is awkward. This cueing, so tough. That's why she didn't even choose to take this on. Good safety, but still should be a quite decent hit over the top short rail. I don't see any value into jumping this. If you make it, what are you going to have shape on the 3-ball? This way you could catch the left side, separate the balls, get maybe the 3-4-9 in between. Or the right side. I mean, there's options. Good things that could happen. Yeah, I like how she kicked at it. Nice base. Didn't get the full hook, but it's not bad. Yeah, again, jump cue, not an option, too close to the 9. Great save from Yasmin there, being so close to the 9. And Daria not able to get enough left spin on the ball. Still, the problem remains how to get something on the 3-ball. Might as well play shape for another safety on the 3 and open up the 4. Yeah, another safety. Now things starting to shape up. They are quite in the same line, so should be about the middle. That's what she's looking at. And then it depends on if she hits it hard or soft. There's a little difference there. Oh, she is supposed to hit that though. Yeah, it was all about the 3-ball. Big battle. But the table wide in the open, up for grabs. The scores should have been a lot closer to each other, but yet in the end you gotta make the balls to count. drawing into the long rail and out. Oh, again. Bit of a weird stroke. Jumped up quite a bit. Looks like she was playing low in the cue ball, and because she jumped up, she played more of a stun. And now this is a big cut either way. To the middle and the corner. But she does make the 9. And she does get her first rack on the board. Ouschan now at least opening her account. She's trailing 3-1. She does have 2 breaks coming up, so if she looks at it optimistically, she could be tying the score at 3 after these 2 breaks. But we all know many things can happen. Well, this is a piece of the puzzle. The break going well. A long 2 ball can kill the cue ball for the 3-4 combination, so it's a chance. I don't think the 6 ball comes in between. That would make the queuing very awkward. I think it should be just okay. Yeah, again, many positions near the middle of the table, the center of the table. There's actually many drills of those for people that are still trying to grow their pool game themselves. Like, if you get to the middle of the table on the 3 ball, on the 5 ball, on the 7, on the 8, I think should be fine. She actually is playing this a bit different. So we'll have to either play with top right spin to still cross over to the right side of the 6. Or the perfect amount of draw. I did like a more natural angle on this 5, so I'm curious to see how she can solve this. Things not coming by easy. Now again, she could have drawn into the rail and out, be closer to the 7. She has chosen for the medicine. Don't do too much, just give yourself a shot. But this now, yeah, I mean, it has distance. She's supposed to make it, but how often have I seen that go wrong? And so things are looking to shape up nicely in this match, because Yasmin did manage to clear that. She does have another break, so that break and run could have been a key turning point to, well, to make the engine heat up a little bit, you know, to get going. Would love to get another one of those breaks. No, she did catch that full. It's illegal, but no way Daria is going to give this back. This does go to the top right. Can she play with inside spin, getting to the right side of the table and play the 2 by the 6 in the bottom right? She did give herself a different angle on the 2. This must be cuttable. Yeah, maybe cheating the pocket a little bit because of the 6. Yeah, could be going for the bank. Just feel like if you go for the bank, you could leave a lot more. There's no obvious safety in mind. But she did go all in. And a beautiful bank gives her the 3 ball as well, including a nice angle. Oh, things getting worse and worse. Looks like she's almost straight on this 5. Might actually track behind the 7. Or she might play this soft and take on the long 6, but as I said, these are not great. Would have loved to be off the rail. She played it with good pace. She's now off the rail. Let's see if she can actually stay off the rail, because the position has been on and off a bit. Yeah, just like that. This match could go 3 each. Daria did have some opportunities. Not too many though, the last 2 racks to do more. She did have them. And it was not going to be forever. I'm saying this because Yasmin wasn't going to play like this forever. She was at some point going to step it up. That's what champions do. It's like an extra trigger when they go down. They feel like, okay, it's this kind of match, you know? And then it's like, oh, this player plays this strong, okay. No, it's like they can put a new level to their game. They have another gear. There's just a couple, and depending on what kind of level you actually play, the more gears you have. Yeah, down goes the 9 and 3 each. Almost a midway in this match. Actually, I have to say, it looks like actually both players have the BK Rush teal. Beautiful color that is. I'm a big fan of this type of blue, but I already have the orange, so I shouldn't be complaining. Me being from the Netherlands, orange works. Now, back to this match. Siranchuk, 3 each, does have the next 2 breaks. All eyes on her. And the cue ball down on the break. Different kind of hit on the break, I should say. Yeah, this 3 ball looked to be a bit tight by the 5. And she has a really small angle on this 3 ball, so she might actually stop the cue ball there and take a longer 4. She barely can reach it too. Yeah, this time she stayed still very nicely. If you could look at her arm, it was only that and the big follow through by the shoulder drop she does use. I mean, that's the thing in technique everybody has to practice for themselves. Some like it, some don't. Yeah, the wrong side of the 6 now. She's still on the 7, but she will have to go 2 rails back to the middle of the table. I'm assuming top left in the cue ball to go straight over. Twice a short rail. And a lot of movement again on there. Is she struggling with the time a little bit? She did run the clock down. But another miss. And Siranchuk should be happy after that break. And then this could be an important one. This way she guarantees herself at least 4 each. So right into this match. 4-3. Daria Siranchuk. Yasmin will be trying very hard not to break down, but she's already made a couple silly mistakes. Needs that ball to go over the line. No. So illegal break. Four ball. The mid, the center of the 4 has to be at least on the line. Now the only good news I have for Siranchuk is the fact that the 2 didn't go nicely over the side. Yasmin might have to bank this, or a good safety under the 5 balls near the bottom of the table. Yeah, a bit surprised she tried to do both. Maybe she was trying to bring the 2 in the middle of the table, most difficult to hit, but this is a makeable jump, and who knows if she gets the shape on the 3 ball. Well, bit of luck. She does tap the table, but she doesn't get anything else on this 3 ball except for a 1 rail kick into it. Could hunt the 9, but I'm not sure if this is the right moment to do so. Well, if the 5 stays on the table, look at this for a hook. Can't imagine this being the plan, but honestly, it's a good shot. And Siranchuk, like I said in the beginning, she won the first rack. She's already from the beginning has put some pressure on Yasmin, and Yasmin probably feeling like she's the favorite. So it's a bit more pressure. That's what we like to see, the champions under pressure. Because that's where they come up with beautiful shots like this. She just kicked the 3-ball in, and if she can make the 4, and it's a beautiful highlight shot. If you miss the 4, well, then it was not worth it to kick it this way. So let's see. Yeah, this is a major steal. If she can get the run out, she will still have to travel a bit more, but incredible shot. And then she takes so much time for that 5-ball. And I kind of think she's just killing her own rhythm there. Never supposed to miss that 9. And what an opportunity again for Siranchuk, who gets these kind of opportunities near the end of the rack. So most of the hard work has been done. Now, does she get far enough? That's a good question. And also, obviously, she's going to start to feel the pressure too. Oh, nicely played. A lot of inside spin to go 2 rails. Oh, maybe, yeah, the cut is a little bit bigger on the 8. But she could play with left spin, run the cue ball 2 rails in between the 9 and the middle. So shouldn't be worried about the cue ball. Oh. No spin. Yeah, the only reason, or one of the reasons why I like the spin, is you're gonna stay a bit closer to the 9, but still, this is to make 5-3. Oh, she's missed the 9. She's straight in on the 9. What a miss. If Yasmin makes this, we'll be going 4 each. Siranchuk will be kicking herself. Yeah, the glove is coming off. Siranchuk disgusted. She'll be taking a timeout. I do believe we're on Ouschan's break the next two. There could be a lot of trouble coming for the Ukrainian. Yeah, Yasmin, she doesn't look too happy if you look at her demeanor. She's really thinking about a bunch of stuff. Thinking about the 5 ball she just hung. It's been a very interesting match so far. So we'll have to wait a couple minutes for Daria to return. In the meantime, let's have a little look around the room to see if there is any of the interesting results. Of course, we had the Pro Billiard series a couple days ago, so a lot of top players have stayed in Austria to play the EuroTour. Chia Hua Chen, also known as Amber Chen, 3 each with Bojana Saraj. Sandra Baumgartner from Austria, 5-3 up against Linnea Hjalmarström. A lot of matches still close. Lena Primus already won 7-2 against Monika Zabek and into the last 16. Yeah, we have no more matches tonight after this one. Next match will be tomorrow at 9 AM local Austrian time. So make sure to put an alarm. Actually, I'm making sure I put an alarm too, so I'll be back in the booth together with Mark White on table 2. We will have Graham Hickman and Gethin Davis on table 1. We'll be back with a winner qualification match in the Men's Open. For now, just waiting for Daria to return. So it won't be taking much longer before Daria comes back. I think it's interesting to see Yasmin not wanting to sit in her chair. Of course, the rule is you'll have to be in your chair or at least in your corner. You cannot talk to anybody. But, you know, nobody can force you to actually sit, right? So most of the time I like to already rack the balls for my next break. She does have the next 2 breaks, so I like to already rack the balls to kill some time in between. It's only a race to 3 from this point, being 4 each. Indeed, my name is Tim de Ruiter. Very happy to be back in the booth for this Predator EuroTour. Since Predator has been involved with the EuroTour, a lot of players have actually come back to the EuroTour. Not just the money has become a lot better, but the venues, the streaming, overall, players are very happy. And it's 6 events in a year and a lot of players showing up. Yeah, this is painful. Look at the 4-ball just stopping before the line. So that means illegal break. Still tricky though. The 5 doesn't go by the 6 obviously in the bottom left. So she might have to play for a 5-9 combination in the right bottom corner. Yeah, or a safety behind the 6. I mean, there's not much you can do on the 6. Yeah, what is she planning to do? I think she's really trying to chase down the 9 soon. Well, a difficult one. She could actually play a good safety behind the 6 now, playing the 5 into the bottom of the 9. But she's going aggressive. I have to say this is a tough one. I like the safety a lot better. But if she makes it, she's right. Well, she does make the 9. Beautiful shot there. So, a very quick steal on this rack 2 for Siranchuk. Already stealing one of the 2 breaks from Yasmin. So a bit more pressure on the second for Ouschan. And now, again, too full on the break. Nothing going in. Things are going downhill again. Yeah, nice hit from Yasmin. We'll have to say multiple options for another safety for Siranchuk. Could bring the cue ball all the way under the 3 and the 2. And cut the 1 to the right long rail. She chose for more distance. That 1 ball is going to open up And also, Yasmin might be able to run into the 7 and the 8 and still have a shot on the 2. So developing and have shape at the same time. She has not done that. Does the 7 not... I don't think the 7 does go by the 8, but probably with where the 6 ball is, she's going to play for the 7 in the top left, so no reason to open it. Oh, and again, she's straight in on the 3 ball. And there's just that movement again. Maybe it's a bit quick, or she's just not at that rhythm again. One time it's a bit slower than the other time. Maybe that's the case. I don't know what's happening. I just know that Siranchuk now has a chance to put herself on the hill first. So another big cut. Difficult shot with the inside spin too. Easily missed, but she's managed well. So she's taken the timeout at 4 each. Just stole a rack after Ouschan's break. With that nice combination on the 9 with the safety in mind at the same time. She hit that well. Because it was off angle, so the combination was difficult. So that put her 5-4. Now if she can get this out, 6-4. And honestly, Siranchuk starting to strike the ball better than Ouschan. Yeah, nice and clean. Stop shot on the 8, 9 in the middle. That would put Siranchuk on the hill first. She does have 2 breaks coming to close out the match. Yeah, this puts Siranchuk on the hill. Only needing one more for a place in the last 16. Yeah, technically winning this match means you'll have to play the last 16 tomorrow at 9 p.m. So you have the whole day off. If you lose this match, you could either have to play at 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. Excuse me, 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. So you'll have to play an extra match. And with the weather being so great, they have a sauna, they have a big spa. Nice gym, they have everything up there. Nice swimming pool. You could imagine how nice it would be to have a bit of extra time. Yeah, I was thinking maybe to take on a cut. Not sure how much the 8 was interfering. Does she have the full cover? I don't think so, honestly. Which means Yasmin could play a similar safety. Get the cue ball behind the 4. Oh, she's jumping this edge. She really wants to get the cue ball down. Maybe a jump bank. Yeah, it was a try for the jump bank. What does she leave, Daria? Well, it's a jump, but this is a makeable one on the 2. She could be playing for the win. On the other table, table 1, Sandra Baumgartner has beaten Linnea Hjalmarström 7-3. That's definitely one that's supposed to go in. Well, she hasn't left the 2 ball on, so she might still get back to the table. Yeah, it won't be too difficult to hit this 2. But I would have liked to see this with a bit more pace. I mean, kicking so soft, I just don't think you had that many options to where you could end up safe. So at least a chance for Ouschan. Yeah, it's already lost the cue ball. Yeah, it looked like she was trying to speed up her play a little bit. Not trying to overthink, not trying to be too technical probably. But then there, she didn't really think about what the rail was gonna do. Bit faster, and now this cut does go well. And she's on the 6. Good recovery from Ouschan. Yeah, a little bit of a shot on this 8 ball. To the top right corner, kill the cue ball. A little bit of an angle. But down goes the 8. Yeah, actually the last couple days I've heard quite some people struggling with the weather. Just physically, mentally, it's draining, but also people getting sick. So I've already heard just a couple players not feeling so well. I mean, I cannot imagine Yasmin feeling the same way, because just a couple days ago she played in the final of the Billiares Carino Women's Open, one of the Pro Billiard Series events, so cannot imagine. The other option, of course, is the fact that she's tired. I mean, she's been here for quite some time now. Oh, the 8 ball spinning just in between the cue ball and the 3. She did make 2 balls on the break. Such an important moment this is. Get position and look at this layout. Even a 6-9 combination to close it out early. Is she going to play this thin? This is a difficult shot if she goes for the thinner. I would say either cut it. Excuse me, either kick it from the back and stick the cue ball with the 8, or why did you not play a push out? Push the cue ball to the left long rail and play a different shot. She's just given up. Ball in hand to Yasmin. If she runs out, she does have another break coming. I'm not sure about this decision. Yeah, now having a look at the 6-9. So looks like she's crossing over to play the 6 in the middle. Could still go with top left spin around the 7 to play for the combination. Does she land on the 6? Straight enough? You would assume so. Oh, plenty. So just top left spin. Oh, a little bit short. But this, to make this match a hill. Close match. Daria playing very well overall. Just missing an 8. And then this weird choice to go for the safety cut on the 3 ball. Makes this 6 each. And Ouschan will be breaking the high 5. Good luck. Have fun. Have a good last one. Obviously a nice etiquette. But both ladies hoping to take the win in the pocket. Oh, a little bit more cut. Yeah, she was hitting the break a bit thick overall in this match. So now a bit more cut and still dry. Oh, look at how much draw she actually played there. A lot of power. That pocket was not gonna take it. Yeah, how are you ever going to take on this 1 and get shape on the 2? Well, there is always a way, but is this the moment to pull out one of the biggest strokes you could ever imagine? That's why she's played safe. Is it spacey enough? No. Daria could send the 1 ball down table, and if the cue ball runs full into the 3 ball, could land behind the 4. Yeah, now has to be careful. A soft bump into the 9 could stick the cue ball with the 9 ball. Could land right in between, could freeze up on it. Yeah, so that means Yasmin does have a chance, but what has she played there? She was just trying to tap this in to have the 4 into the middle. Just don't understand, she could have done so much more. The 4 does not go by the 7 in the bottom right. That's why we have another safety battle. This is a good safety though to start with. The 8 ball blocking the top short rail. Now could go over the right short rail, but pushing the 4 ball out in the open. The other option is to go 3 rails at it. The other option is to go maybe a massé. Massé 1 rail kick. But like I said, kicking at it like this is always going to put the 4 into the open space, but honestly she could have left a lot more on this 4 ball. Oh, how does the 4 land? Does the 4 land? No, the 4 ball drops. And that means Yasmin now 5 balls on the table. The 6 does go to the bottom right. What a chance she has. And I have to say, for a very long time I thought Daria was still able to win this match, but I just cannot understand why she did go for the cut safety after the break she had. Now, this has gone too far. So, somewhat of a shot coming up on the 6. And running into the 8, breaking the speed a little bit. That means 3 balls away to get into the last 16, and trust me, if you just showed up for this match, things have not come by very easy. Well, barely could reach, decided to stop the cue ball. So we're gonna see some traveling. Two rails and out. How's the pace? How's the pace? It's these kind of positions I would always want to see someone shoot on a hill. Not easy, and might have to watch the cue ball a bit. But the 9 drops, and it is Yasmin Ouschan advancing through to the last 16. Daria Siranchuk does have another chance tomorrow in the loser qualification match. Thanks everybody for tuning in at Pro Billiard TV. And as I mentioned, we will be back tomorrow and on Sunday, both days, with plenty more action all the way from Sankt Johann in Pongau. This has been Tim de Ruiter, and I wish you a pleasant evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 AM.